bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Ranch right here on our Wyoming Life. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And welcome. Thanks for coming along with us this evening as we have a kind of a special show in store for you, as we're going to actually invite you into a ranch meeting, and we're going to take a look at... Why do you shake your head at me?
You just made it up.
No, I didn't. I've been talking about it all afternoon. We're not making anything up. We're going to talk about the hay, right? We're going to talk about.
We have like meetings.
Well, we have. If you've ever been on, actually, if you've ever been married, we have meetings when you can have meetings, right? So sometimes meetings take place while having dinner. Sometimes you're rushing around the house trying to get stuff done. So it's always that's kind of how it works usually, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
it's not like we have like a meeting.
No, we don't. We don't have like a ranch meeting. We don't have like a set ranch meeting, but we invited everybody along so they could actually hear us talk about hay, though. So thank you to Dr. Dixon, who hit us up with a $500 super chat about 45 minutes before we even started hanging out in the corral with our moderators, and threw that up there. That is amazing. Thank you very much, Mr. Dixon, Dr. Dixon, and thank you for that. That's amazing, really, considering. We haven't even talked about anything yet. No. We haven't even said. Maybe he's given us $500 just not to show up. It might be like, let me save you the trouble. It's like an ugly stripper, right? You just give her money before she even starts, and you're just like, just go back home, head back to the trailer park, whatever you need to do.
You're like stereotyping a whole lot of people, right?
I've been watching a lot of CSI, and there's a lot of strippers in CSI Las Vegas. We've been watching that, and there's every episode has strippers in it for some reason. So I have strippers on the head, on the brain.
Not every episode has strippers.
Dang near everyone. It's insane. Anyway, thank you very much, Dr. Dixon. We do appreciate it.
And we will buy hay, yes. That's definitely what it'll go towards.
That is for sure. So, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good? Mm-hmm. All right. That's it? That's all I get out of you?
We had a very frantic, quick dinner.
We did. We were trying to get...
You can see what we had for dinner if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
Did you put it on?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
It was good.
It was good. It was really good.
Really fast.
The best part, I can honestly say, the best part of living on a ranch, being on a ranch, ranching ourselves, is that we do get what I consider to be like the best meat that you can purchase, buy, can fall into your lap, whatever. Before we came here, I never even knew, the different cuts of a steak, really. Mm-hmm. So I didn't care. But now I'm a snob, because if I go to a restaurant, they'll be like, "Hey, would you like to try the ribeye?" And I'm like, "No." Sirloin? Nope. Tenderloin? Maybe I'll think about a tenderloin, but usually I'm like, "No, you know what? I'll have the chicken." It's just,
I know, we talk about that a lot. Like, I don't eat. I'll eat a hamburger.
You can't screw up a hamburger.
We can, but I order chicken a lot in restaurants. I won't eat like a pork chop. I won't eat a steak in a restaurant. We've gotten super snobby. It's a problem.
It is a problem.
Somebody the other day, we were talking about beef and stuff, because we're finishing beef and stuff here, and somebody was like, "Well, how much do you keep for you guys?" And I don't know if this was an internet conversation or a real life conversation. It kind of
they're all the same.
Someone's like, "What do you guys keep for yourselves?" Well, I don't know how much we eat in a year, because whenever I just need something, I just go get it. Like, I don't put a half aside or something for us. So, like, we've gotten, I would say that we're super privileged to be able to eat whatever beef, whatever pork we want to eat. So it's not like we set aside a half for ourselves and I'm like, oh, I got to work through all the chuck roasts. No, like, if we want tenderloins, I just go get some tenderloins.
Again, snob.
Yeah, we've gotten to be super privileged with meat.
Rancher privilege. Maybe we need to start a new T-shirt.
Yeah.
Prime rib is something we really never, Tim. We never really mess around with prime rib too much.
We get some prime ribs cut. It's a real struggle, because I can't keep prime rib roast in stock, and I can't keep ribeyes in stock, and they're the same thing. And so it's just really do I want more ribeyes or do I want more prime ribs? And so whenever I do get a few prime ribs, they're gone super fast, but ribeyes also go really, really fast.
Right.
So
there are, Lawrence just said that we're spoiled. I agree.
Yeah.
We are completely spoiled. But it's one of those things like, if you worked in an amusement, okay, if I worked in an amusement park, I would ride the roller coaster every day, right? That would be like getting spoiled because I would go ride that thing, and eventually you get to ride in the roller coaster so much it's just like, well, here we go, another loop. That's kind of what it's like, living on the ranch and eating out of the freezers, because you're just like, well, okay, well, I'll have another steak. But I don't, even now I don't even eat our own ribeyes. I don't eat our own sirloins, because we just save the tenderloins for ourselves. So
yeah, I know, and that's the bad thing is we've gotten, because I don't just like set aside a half for us, like I don't have to eat all the chuck roast. So as much as I do enjoy a good chuck roast, like I'm not stuck with the 37 chuck roast to make.
Exactly.
And the cube steak, and like I don't know, it's just tough because like we've gotten very, very picky about like what we eat. And so like and there's some stuff that I don't even put in the farm store. Like I have one customer that gets boneless pork chops, so then we get pork tenderloins. Those come right to our freezer. Those don't even go on sale. And bacon, though, like we alternate between bacon at the store and our bacon, just because I can't keep bacon in stock either. So
there's definitely a downside, folks. All right, from Jam's Farm, $4.99 in a super chat. How's preg checking going? That actually went well. We did end up reducing the herd after preg checking. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Long Ash Cowboy Steve, Nicaragua's number 2 export is beef. Behind lobster, tobacco is number 6. $20 super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for Nick. Steve's actually, I don't know if he's still in Nicaragua, but he was down there. So I saw a picture of him on Facebook riding a bus that looked like you would expect a bus in Nicaragua to look like. Like there was like chickens on the side of the bus kind of thing. Kind of an interesting deal. I'm going to try to pronounce this one. I'm probably not going to do it right. Showentrump Farms. You have to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Yeah, I agree. That's the plus side of the whole thing. So,
Michael Outdoors, do you guys still have jerky? Yes.
Lots of jerky.
Have jerky.
We don't have all the flavors right now. We do have some that are out of stock. But
we have all the original flavors, and I see 2 boxes of, I think we have a few sweet and spicy and a few Cajun, just 2-ounce packages of beef sticks, not muscle jerky.
Did we tell the story on live stream a couple weeks ago? I ate somebody's beef jerky.
I think we talked about
Did we talk about that? Okay, we did talk about that last week. That's funny. Yeah. So anyway,
do we have any pot roast? Yeah, we've got. I mean, it depends what kind of pot roast you want.
Chuck roast.
Chuck arm, sirloin tip, and rump. And I also, what else? Oh, I have tenderloin roast. That's not a pot roast.
No, that's a fancy roast. Yeah. That's like better than prime rib, right?
Well, it's the same. It's the tenderloin.
Right, which is better than prime rib.
We prefer the tenderloin, yes.
Which is better than prime rib.
I think so.
Okay. So you can just say it. You don't have to be all politically correct here. I mean, we own this channel, right? You can say what you want to say. You can be like, I like tenderloin. Yeah, damn it.
Favorite cut of beef is a tenderloin.
Right. I like their ears. No, I'm just kidding.
And then like hamburger. Like that's what we eat: tenderloins and hamburger.
Yeah. We have. What do they? What was that? Caviar tastes on. I can't remember the saying. There's a saying. Caviar tastes on trailer house budget or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Something like that. I can't remember what it was. But yeah. So
we do have a beef tongue. I put it right on top of the freezer just to alarm
How much do you
people.
charge? Erin asked me. She's like, "How much do you charge for beef tongue?" I was like, "I don't know. Do you pay people to take it? Because I don't want it."
People like tongue.
People buy it though. Does anybody know what a beef tongue goes for? Because that would be very. Zach might know.
We have I have some tri-tip roast. Yeah.
There you go.
We have a whole lot of everything right now. Yeah, we even have ribeyes right now, except for bacon. We're out of pork. We're out of a lot of pork, but we've got almost all the beef right now.
Creative content just tuning in. What did we miss? Well, you missed a $500 super chat from our friend Dr. Jeffrey Dixon in Texas. Thank you very much once again. That's going to hang out there all day long. We're going to see that for quite a while. I don't know if people can see that on the when you're watching the chat, but we can see it on our screen. And the when you do super chats, they actually show up at the top of our screen, and they hang out there even longer. I don't know if I've ever showed anybody the other side of what we see here. So these are lights. They don't look like lights. What are they? Look like? Oh yeah, maybe they do. Okay. That's what we see. That's the screen that we see as you guys. Hey, look at you chatting. Say hi to yourself, Miss Sunny. Hello.
Look at all that mess over there.
There's a lot of mess over there too. So now I'll turn it back. And hopefully get it back to where it was.
Yeah,
somewhere close in where it was. But yeah, that's what we see. So when you do Super Chat, we see them up there. And then we see your messages as they're coming by as well too. So
$3 to $3.29 a pound for tongue. That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
I think I charged $3 for liver.
Is that a lot for liver?
I don't know.
I haven't eaten liver since I was a kid.
You ain't getting that in this house.
Joe pays $9 a pound for tongue in his area.
Dang, man.
Isn't that crazy? James got a chance to say hi to himself, as did Steve and Daniel. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
We've never eaten tongue. Gilbert used to eat tongue. My mom would just put it in the crock pot. You got to pull the taste buds off.
Oh, we should so make a video of this.
That's the most alarming thing I think I've ever seen in my whole life.
Pulling the taste buds off of the tongue?
It's like got this outer, like this membrane that you got to, like...
I've had cows lick me, and they have, like, they have the tongue like a cat.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a rough tongue. That really does sound disgusting. So we're gonna bank these up, Matt. Hey, look at Matt and I are on the same wavelength. Tongue, kale, liver. We're going to put those all in the same category, which a friend of mine, one of our hunters, Cheyenne hunter Bob, I was talking to him the other day, and we were talking about kale, and he said, I figured out why you grow kale on the ranch, and it's because
it grows really well.
we have a lot of snow, we have a lot of mud, and it works great for traction underneath a tire when you're stuck. So kale, liver, tongue, all falls in that traction food category. I'm gonna start a new term. Traction food. That falls in that traction food category. It may be really good. I don't know. I've never tried it.
Yeah, I mean it's very similar to like a roast once it's all cooked.
And you peel off the taste buds.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You've never had it.
I never have. William Dunn's talking about Rocky Mountain oysters, which I have had. Have you had Rocky Mountain oysters before? The only place we can get them in town slices them so thin that they're really just like breading with ranch dressing. So you can't really even taste them. But if you ever come to town, I'll take you out for some Rocky Mountain oysters. And if you don't know what those are, just Google it. Google it. You can have heart, too. I've never had heart.
Yeah, we don't really mess around with that stuff very much.
Yeah, interesting. Well, thank you very much for that trip down the culinary lane.
Tongue would be good in the Instapot.
Everything's good in the Instapot, right?
I tried to make rice. It was horrible. We can't get brain from our processor.
Yeah, there's some sort of law against that, isn't there?
Well,
or
it's
something?
just what they're set up for, and it's so like I wanted pig's feet because my mom makes pickled pig's feet. I won't eat that either. But they don't do pig's feet, don't do brain, but I can get all the internal organs.
Why?
People like it.
I know. There's so much good stuff in a cow.
You can get the tail.
You can have tail, yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever get the pork offal because no one ever wants. I think I've had one customer ask for pork liver.
Do people eat snout? That reminds me of something. Pig snout. That's like a thing that people eat.
And
is it not? I think it is. I think I've heard of this. Pig snout and pig ears, but like dogs get those.
Yeah.
They have those as thars.
Yeah.
Like but I've heard of snout. I've heard of people eating pig snout. I don't know. I've seen where their snouts go. I don't know if I would want to eat that.
Well, the feet too. I mean, oh my gosh. So gross.
It's craziness. Anyway, boy, this took a weird turn. Our goal tonight, we're going to talk to you guys, and we're going to get into it eventually. We're going to talk about how our hay supply actually did work out. I was thinking about making a video about it, obviously, and put it out on the our Wyoming Life channel, which I may do still. But this kind of gives you guys a little bit of a sneak preview into how we look at our hay now, how we figure out what we're going to need, where we're going to get that, and how it all pans out. The BTR cooking channel, yeah.
Let's talk about all the gross things.
All the bad things. All the good things and the bad things that may be. I don't think I've ever had a pig's foot.
Oh God, Gilbert loved pig's feet.
Oh, he'd gnaw on those things like, yeah. It was, yeah, horrible.
So gross. Yeah, pickled pig's feet. My mom would make them every year for Christmas. And Gilbert would get them year round, like at the grocery store, canned, in a jar.
Yeah.
But my mom would make them. They used to, they grew up in a small town in North Dakota, but they would, they still had family that was on the farm and stuff, so like every year they'd get a whole pig and like everybody would come over and they'd process pig and make sausage with most of it, and then butcher chickens, and like they did it in town. Like that was fine then. But yeah, I mean, my grandma used to put the chicken feet on the plate of chicken. Like, I mean, that's just the household that my mom grew up in. So I did not
Nothing went to
partake
waste.
in-
They didn't waste
No, they
anything.
didn't
That's
waste
the
anything.
point.
Yeah.
I mean, everything, at least, you know, the chicken's foot, I get, what do they use that for? Like a toothpick or something?
No, you can eat it. Again, also you have to peel it off. And
But it has like the nail, right? So you could like
yeah, those go off when you...
get out when you have to get the cow tongue, the cow taste bud out from in between your teeth. You use the chicken foot and the little chicken claw. I don't know.
Yeah, my mom
or
said
maybe
they
use the
always-
beak for that. I don't know. It's all disgusting. We could, at Ranch Roundup 2020, by the way, I've had a lot of questions coming in about when you can get tickets for Ranch Roundup. They will go on sale April 1st or March 31st, probably.
March 31st, it's a Tuesday.
But they will go on sale then. But yeah, we could have like a taste test at Ranch Roundup with all these weird, goofy things. First of all, a chicken's foot has no meat on it.
Like a lot of people saying use them in stock. My grandma used to put them on the plate of fried chicken. I don't know.
Why?
I don't know. By the time I remember, like, they weren't doing that anymore.
Fear Factor. I forgot all about that show. Fear Factor. Remember that show? Did you ever watch that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually surprised that William Dunn knows about it because he's like, 12. Sorry, William. I know you're 18 now. That show that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fear Factor. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so what we're going to talk tonight, we're going to talk about the hay situation, where we stand there. But I do have, to kind of get the ball rolling here, is a video that I made back in July when we were bringing the hay in, and I was talking about how much hay we had, how much hay we didn't have, and how that was going to affect what would happen today. Kind of an interesting little, we're going to take a step back in time. We're going to do the back in time thing. Okay, you ready for that?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The point is that there are other options as well, and we don't have to make up our minds today. The calves are already here. The ranch's paycheck for this year is already practically set, and we won't start feeding until November at the earliest. Still, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't just a little bit stressful. I always say that the cows are my coworkers, and although ranch. The hail made a huge difference this year, cutting into harvesting, and one plan that we have is to actually perform some new soil tests, comparing high yield fields to those with low yields, and finding the difference in the soil structure and what we can do to correct any issues. Long story short, the herd will be reduced. We thought we were going to have to do it last year. We managed to avoid it, but this year it's written in the stars. And it's not really a bad thing. It's the ebb and flow of ranching. We get a chance to adjust the herd, play with the genetics, and hopefully we come out a little bit better in the end. I know for a fact that through adversity comes strength. And you don't develop courage by being happy every single day of your life. You develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging hardships. So I say, there's not much we can change at this point, so bring it on. So back then, we were talking about, I got the remote in my hand. So back then, we were talking about, that we had the hail come in that took out a bunch of hay. Hay crop wasn't great to start with in a lot of different fields, but
It was the best hay crop we've had in years.
right, the hail then knocked the crap out of a bunch of it. So now, what we have to do is actually take a look at how much hay we have left as we are entering the third trimester for these cows, right? So that calf that's growing inside these cows is going to basically go from a 20-pound calf now to a 75-pound calf in the next 3 months. It's going to gain 75% of its weight within that time. So the cows, they need all the nutrition they can get. The hay that we have is the hay that kind of got hailed on, right? So it's not the best quality hay in the world. So what we've done today and what we've been working on today is figuring out how much hay we need to get us through the rest of the winter and how we incorporate that with the hay that we have left. So I went out and counted all the hay bales that we have left today, and that came to right around 100 hay bales. So those are I'm going to have to do some math here, but those are 100-pound hay bales, or 100 hay bales at 1,400 pounds a piece on average, probably a little bit lighter. But so that gives us basically we're feeding. This is the easiest way to look at it. We're feeding 3 bales a day. So if we have 100 bales left, we have 33 days worth of food left.
Yep. And that's with bulls and steers.
That's everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, and cows.
Right,
yes.
right. So one of the interesting things that we have to look at is, and one of the hardest things to figure out is when will we stop feeding? We don't actually know when that is.
Yeah, that's always the hard thing. We don't, April can be just plain nasty for us. Like March actually can be pretty nice, and then April can just turn into a wet, sloppy
mess.
Yeah, a disaster. So
exactly. So as we feed right now, 2.5 bales per day are basically going to the cows. The bulls, they're eating about 1 bale every 10 days or so, right in there. The steers that we have are 1 bale every 4 days, and the horses, they eat a bale like a month. They don't eat a whole lot. So yeah, how much hay do the horses eat? We have 2 horses. Their daily requirements are about 60 pounds a day each. So
60 pounds? They don't need 60 pounds.
They probably do, pretty close to it. They weigh about 1,000 pounds, so probably about 50 pounds, 25 pounds apiece.
Okay, I thought you were talking about 60 pounds for each horse.
Oh, no, my gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, no.
You need to cut them back.
Yeah, no kidding, that's a lot of food. So anyway, so right now we're feeding about 3 bales per day. So we have out there in the field right now 33 days worth of feed left for the cows. So 33 days from today, let's say, would put us at March 9th. 11th, there we go.
No, wait, no.
No?
29 days in February.
Oh my gosh, okay. Somebody asked Siri how long this is going to take. So,
how many days is 33 days from now?
Sorry, I can't help you with that.
Really?
What day is 33 days from now?
It's March 13th.
March 13th. All right, so as we said right now, March 13th, we would run out of hay.
Yeah.
We would be out of hay. Also, the other problem is that the hay that we have right now isn't the highest in protein levels, so we're really we're supplementing with different types of protein right now to make sure that they get as much protein as they can. Our hay right now tested at about 7% protein, somewhere in there. So we want to make sure that if we make it until March, what'd you say was March 13th?
13.
Okay, so we can still expect probably through at least April 13th. Snow.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So like the end of April, maybe even. So we need basically 2 more months of...
I don't understand your gibberish, baby.
That's like big words. So we have to basically be able to feed up until the middle of May would be probably the ideal
Yeah, and the bulls
situation.
have to be fed until July.
Yeah, true. That's right. God, I forgot about that. Yeah, those dang bulls. We could take the bulls. See, this is how ranch meetings work, right? We could take the bulls early and move them down. And then instead of moving the bulls to the cows like we usually do, we move the cows to the bulls.
If you can keep them from jumping the fence.
You would have to have a talk with them and explain to them the situation. But one of the things that we did do in order to be able to even make it this far with the amount of the hay that we have is that we did reduce the herd. We had somebody ask us, and I can't remember the name, ask us about preg checking, and after preg checking, we ended up whittling the herd down from about 150 to 115 cows. And so we sold a lot of cows after preg checking. So that's one of the ways that we were able to extend the hay even this far. Else we would JV weld ungulates, hoofed mammals. So single-toed ungulate would be a horse.
A horse?
Yes.
Do we feed them?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they get the same.
Unfortunately.
They get the same hay that the cows do, pretty much. So anyway. So here, the situation is now we come into this. So we basically need 2 more months of hay. Now we know
We need at least 6 weeks.
right. So we know that we have 100 bales out there that'll last us basically 1 month. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we need 200 bales to be able to last us 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, we can fit 22 tons on a tractor trailer, which is
semi.
about 32 bales, I think. So if we can fit, I don't know, where's my phone? Where is my phone? There it is. All right. So we have, you texted me. I never answered your text.
I did?
Yeah, a while ago. You want me to read everybody what you texted me?
Yeah. Did you make drinks?
Did you make drinks? Yeah. The answer was no. Actually, I did eventually. But, okay. So, we have, what did I say, 32 bales on a tractor trailer? We need 200 bales divided by 32.
You need 100 bales. You have 100.
Right, but I need, so I have 100 bales. See, this is, math is hard. I have 100 bales to make it through March.
Yeah.
I need another 100 to make it through April.
Okay.
I need another 100 to make it to May. So I need 200 more bales, right?
If we say we're going to feed till May, or they're going to get kicked out.
You guys are on your own. Go pound on the neighbor's door. Okay, so if I need 200, we're talking 32 per truck, so that's 6.25 truckloads of hay.
Well, that's not how much we're buying.
No, because this is an interesting situation that I'm going to get into here in a moment. But you spoiled it. See, you went and threw a wrench in my whole thing here.
We ain't got enough money to buy 6 loads.
Yeah, because if we look at it, so 6.5. Basically, let's just say 6, because that's easier to work
This is not
with.
what the numbers you told me when we had a ranch meeting earlier today.
So this is with 1,400-pound bales.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Right? That's what we have now.
Yes.
Okay. So 6 truckloads are 22 tons each.
I think you're making this too complicated, but go on.
It's always complicated, right? So that's 132 tons is what we need to make it through the middle of May. And if we're paying $165 a ton delivered, which is what I got quoted, that's $21,000 worth of hay.
This is not literally not the numbers you told me this morning.
Because we have different numbers from this morning.
I'm so confused.
Oh, okay. So, is anybody following along with me? I don't know if I'm even right on this. But the interesting thing that happened is that we were talking about this last night, and one of our moderators, a young fellow named Matt Fensel, sent me a text last night because he was for some reason searching on Wyoming's Craigslist. Is it Craigslist?
We don't need 500 bales of hay. No, you're confusing people. You think we need 300 bales to make it through?
200.
We already have 100.
Right. So
I'm so confused.
right. Okay. So we have 100 bales out there.
Yes.
That'll feed for another 30
Yeah,
days.
So we need to purchase 100 bales. You did your math for 200.
Right. We're going to feed for another 100 days. That takes us to March 13th.
Yes.
We run out of hay on March 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. We want to feed till April 13th.
Yeah.
That's another 100 bales to get another month.
That's 33 days, not 31.
Okay. Well, whatever. I rounded.
Yeah.
And then if we want to go till May, that's another 100, right?
Yes.
So that would be 200. We have 100 plus 200.
Okay.
That's 300. So we only need to buy 200,
Yes.
right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's not what we're buying.
No, but nobody knows that yet. You're a big old spoiler here. So, basically, Matt found us some bales
Yes.
for sale, over in Beulah, which is about 80. It sounds like an SAT probably does, doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
It's new math. They are over in Beulah, Wyoming, which is about 80 miles from here. Matt actually found us bales on Craigslist, and everybody can give Matt a hand, because he found us bales for $35 a piece in the field.
Yeah, but there's a catch.
There is a catch. There's always a catch, right? So these bales are smaller bales. So we make 5 foot by 5 foot bales, basically.
Yes.
These are 4 foot by 5 foot bales, so they're smaller.
Yeah, I know that. You don't have to tell me. Tell them.
Well, I don't know what you know anymore, because I'm apparently confusing you just as much. So anyway,
Live streams in a half hour.
I know, right? So we are going to purchase these bales. that are smaller
Yeah.
bales. So these bales apparently weigh 850 pounds apiece on average. So that's a lot less bales, or a lot more bales that we're going to have to feed. So that brings, so instead of feeding 3 bales per day on average, we're going to feed 5 bales per day. Okay, following me still?
Your math still doesn't work out. I'm confused.
Why are you confused?
Because you said we need 300, 1,400 pound bales, but we're not buying that many 850 pound bales.
No,
How is this going to work?
We have. I need one of those. I need like a dry erase board.
You made this
we
too
have
complicated.
we have 100 bales on hand right now.
I know that.
Okay, those 100 bales will last us through when?
But you're comparing 1,400 pound bales to 850 pound bales.
Right. Those we.
Math doesn't make
you
any
guys, aren't you glad we invited you to this? Okay, so we have enough food right now on the ranch to feed through March 13th.
I understand all that.
Okay, we still need to feed through May 13th.
How are you going to get by with we're buying 200, 850 pound bales?
You're jumping ahead of the game here.
Because I know the end of the story.
But that's not the right way to do it. You have to go. You have to go
right,
through. You have to hit first base before you hit third, right?
Yep, keep going. My brain hurts too, Garrett. I don't understand what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, keep going.
Basically, we have to feed the cows for 2 more months.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the cows eat 3,875 pounds of feed per day.
Yes.
Okay. So for 2 extra months, we have to buy enough food to feed them that.
Yes, move on.
That's what well, why do you tell me to move on if you're confused, right? So we need that 3,800.
I don't understand the poundage. Because we're buying, you're comparing 1,400 pound bales in the field to 850 pound bales, which is what we're buying.
We have 1,400 pound bales.
I know that.
We are going to buy 850 pound bales. See, isn't this crazy? 4 more drinks, yeah, no doubt. So we're going to buy 850 pound bales.
Yeah.
We have to buy enough 850 pound bales to get us through 2 months.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
We feed 5 250 pound bales a day.
Yes.
We need 5 times 60.
Yes.
Perfect. What's 5 times 60?
300. But that's not what, we don't have the money to buy 300 bales.
No.
So how are you doing this?
This is what I told you earlier today, and you said feed them more cake, give them more lick. You're going to have to cut them down to 2 bales a day, feed them extra cake. Remember, you told this is
diet.
See, geez, you want to meet for something we had a conversation about earlier today.
Because the way you explained it doesn't make any sense. Because you're talking about 1,400 pound bales and 850 pound bales, and what we're buying is not what we have, and you were talking about how many pounds. Like we know what we can afford, and it's not 300 bales. Like that's not what we're buying.
No, we can't. We can't afford 300 bales. So we are going to buy 200 bales.
You explained it wrong.
Okay, start over. No, feel free. Start over. Let's
fine.
start. All right, let's rewind.
Moving on.
So anyway, we need to buy 2 months worth of hay to get us through until winter.
You've said that 87 times.
But I'm just making sure that you understand that.
I do understand.
Okay, so whether they're 350 pound bales or 1,400 pound bales or 10,000 pound bales, we still have to buy 2 months worth of feed.
Yes.
That's it. Makes perfect sense to Jason. See? Thank you. I really hope you're not being sarcastic because that just made me feel better. So we have to buy 2 months worth of hay.
Yes.
That's it.
The problem is I know what we're buying. And
everybody knows what we're buying. We're going to hopefully buy these these $35 bales.
Yeah.
Right.
Not 300 of them.
Not 300 of them. We're going to buy 200 of them.
Yes.
And hope for the best. But here's the interesting thing, though. If we do end up in a situation where we're short on hay again, we can hopefully find more hay if we have to. Let's say winter went on until June, which does happen occasionally. Then we would have to go.
We're not. I mean, they're not. They'll start chasing grass. Like mid-May, like regardless of whether or not you put out a bale, they're going to go chase grass.
Right. We run into that situation. There always seems to be. Eventually, there's a day where you go out, you put up, you unroll a bale of hay, and the cows just walk away.
They kind of come up to it and they might nibble on it a little bit and they'll leave. But what we talked about earlier today is like we're at the beginning of 3rd trimester, right? And so nutrition is super important, and you're going to talk more about that on Tuesday and stuff. But now for the next month, if we get them some higher quality hay, but you feed them just a tiny bit less, Like, they're just not going to get 30 pounds a day. They're going to get just a little bit less. You're going to be able to stretch the hay just a little bit longer, as long as they have plenty of mineral, plenty of salt, plenty of protein.
Right. So. And that's the thing. Like, we have to have the protein and stuff out anyway. So you can look at it as, obviously cake costs more than hay. The protein costs more than hay. The problem is we can't get hay that's high enough in protein.
Yeah.
That third trimester, we want hay that's like 14, 15% protein, which we can't get around here.
We have to cake this time of the year anyhow, right? So regardless of how much hay is going on the ground, like, we're caking right now anyhow. So that's an expense that has to happen. So
yeah. Somebody go back and watch this over again and see if anything makes sense. But the long story short is that we buy the hay, we put it on the ground, and the cows eat it.
They're still going to get the same amount of cake that they always do. I mean, it's just, you're going to be more consistent about caking because you're not an everyday caker.
No. Was that like an insult?
No, it's not an insult. I don't know. It's a gamble. Like, it is a big gamble, because if we get a big, huge storm in April, like, you will burn through the hay super quickly. So, I mean, it is a gamble that, like, we're kind of banking on, like, the minimum amount of hay that we can get by with at this point. So, yeah, I don't know. That is what it is.
Either way, Erin has to write a check, and I have to explain it to her.
We all have to write a check.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I got to make a few more videos. See a few more videos come out. That's why. That's the that's the hay fund. But you could sell caramel rolls.
I already do that.
Oh.
I already have 3 jobs. Okay. Mike took the long way around.
I took the long way around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was trying to explain it. Well, I was trying to, never mind. I won't even explain how I was trying, because I don't even know how I was trying to explain it. I'm trying to explain how things work in my mind. And this is the problem with when you're out driving around in a tractor, you have way too much time looking at the cows and figuring this stuff out in your head. But honestly, like, I go and put everything on a spreadsheet, is what I usually do, and then I can figure out exactly, based on how much a bale weighs, how many bales I need to feed per day, and all that.
Yeah,
kind of
I mean, if
stuff.
you would have just talked poundage rather than bales, like, then I'm
trying to make it clearer in bales, because not everybody knows exactly what a bale weighs.
Well, I know, but the hard thing is like a 1,400-pound bale compared to an 850-pound bale. Like, I mean, we're seeing them significantly different, and like, we haven't seen these bales yet. You've talked to the hay farmer. He's got them. Talked about road conditions, but we haven't seen the bales yet.
Yeah, so. And hopefully we can get Gary, our neighbor, to actually go and bring them. And so then we actually talked to Gary last night about trucking costs, and the situation that we'll run into with trucking costs is if our stream went to heck, that's our streaming just went to heck for some reason. But anyway,
Let's see if we have internet.
Trucking costs, usually Gary will charge us by the mile, or he'll charge us by the hour. It actually works out about the same either way, so we're looking at about $350 per load coming in per truckload. So, and he can't bring us a full 22 tons on a truck because they're smaller bales. So it'll be an interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it comes out. One of the most confusing live streams ever put together.
Confusing, yeah.
And now that my brain hurts, how about we check in with the Armchair Rancher? The Armchair Rancher's been trying to work his way to the ranch.
Yeah, we appear to have some internet problems. I don't know, is the wind blowing?
Probably.
I don't hear the wind, but that doesn't mean it's not blowing. Try if you guys hit refresh on your screen sometimes.
Well, you can see that thing says it's red, so that's on our end. So it's actually slower going upstream for some weird reason. So anyway, thank you, Susan, for the $35 super chat. That just bought us 1 bale of hay. Thank you very much.
There was another. Wasn't there there was a $1 super chat.
Was there a $1 one that I missed while I was yammering on about?
Yeah, well, we were so confused.
There's one from, that is from Ivan. Hello from Texas. When is Ranch Roundup 2020? Ranch Roundup 2020 is taking place in June 27th. We will be doing a live stream once again on June 26th, and the 28th we'll be having some fun here at the ranch. Tickets go on sale March 31st once we get everything all set up and all the schedule set and all that kind of good stuff. You saw a $1 super chat back here somewhere.
Ivan's $2 super chat that I saw.
Gotcha. Thank you very much, Ivan. We appreciate it. All right, so the Armchair Rancher has been working his way to the ranch, and we have his latest update here with us now.
Wrenching from his keyboard, he doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
Hey gang, it's me. I'm cruising down the road in my Uber getting closer to the ranch every single day. And soon enough, I'll be there. But this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would. I told my driver that I wanted to go to the ranch. He asked me where it was. I told him it was hidden. But he said he knew right where it was, and we're not too far away now. $784 later, and here we are. What the... This isn't the ranch. Thanks, guys. But this isn't anywhere near close to where I need to be. And calving is coming up soon, and there are lots of things that I need to teach Mike about calving. After all, my hamster had babies just last year, and she only ate 5 of them. So I guess it's back to the airport and off in another plane, still to find the ranch. First by airplane, then by helicopter. So the last video I saw, the ground was covered in snow on the ranch, and these guys were nice enough to give me a lift here. Although, as they leave, I have my doubts. Guys, can you come back? It's getting a little cold. Guys? Well, crap. I guess it's time for plan B.
Will the Armchair Rancher ever make it home? Will he freeze to death in the Great White North? Will his hamster eat her other 2 babies? Find out next time as the Armchair Rancher struggles to make it to our Wyoming Life.
He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
Oh, that poor guy stranded out there in the middle of nowhere.
He's gonna freeze to death.
Eventually. You'd probably learn how to pee in the snow, though. So that's always
How's that
something
gonna
you need to
help
know. It's not going to help you at all, but it actually passes the time. You know, pee in the snow, eat some snow, pee some more. Gives you something to do. All right, so now we got the hay situation.
Daniel Davis had a $1 super.
Oh yeah. He asked what I did in the Air Force. I started out working in the medical field, and then ended up as when I got out as a police officer in the Air Force. So let's see. We got the hay situation figured out.
It's
Kind of.
mud.
Clear as mud.
I think we were just discussing it during Armchair Rancher, and now we're both super confused. So we're gonna buy some hay.
Yeah, we're going to buy some hay. We're going to feed the cows, and they'll eat it, and then they'll have babies. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing about this whole situation is that last year, obviously the hay situation started back in June, so we're always working almost a year behind. But and we're also working almost a year behind with a paycheck, right? So we sold calves from last year. This year, when we sell calves, we will have significantly lower income because of selling calves. We're not going to have as many calves.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the year next year will be the interesting year. That's the year where the income then comes and hits us. And so we basically have a year to make this whole YouTube thing start to pay off. Because even with 127,000 subscribers, trust me, it's not paying the bills. You do get paid from YouTube. We have made a video about it. You can go back. You can actually see how much we make. But that money actually gets rolled right back into doing things that hopefully produce more money, right? So we actually have almost every dime. This is the main reason we can't afford to buy that much hay. We have so much money wrapped up into beef jerky right now.
Yeah.
So we had to process a whole bunch of cows into beef jerky. So if you're interested in some beef jerky, you can head over to the website and buy beef jerky there. And then eventually that gets turned into money to buy hay, which then gets turned into money to make more beef jerky.
Yeah, and I saw a few comments about, trade some beef or, but that all costs money. Like, I mean, it takes, it's not an even, like, trade system. I mean, there's value in both, and so it doesn't really, if we trade a finished beef or a processed beef or we trade beef jerky, I mean, when you guys go to the website, you'll see what we're charging for beef jerky. Like, it is expensive to make beef jerky. Like,
it is, yeah. We had
expensive.
Somebody make a comment on Facebook, and they were like, wow, that's really expensive beef jerky. It is, because it's a smaller, I think it's a smaller production, obviously. It's not Jack Link's where there's 9,000 different, types and everything else. They got factories making this stuff. We have one poor guy in Sturgis who's going, stop it, I don't want to make beef jerky, and he's crying. He's like, I don't want to make beef jerky anymore.
It's a real partnership with us and Sturgis Meats, and there's a lot of phone calls to Roger and how much can I bring you, and when am I going to get this back, and we can't do so much at one time that it doesn't get packaged or it goes bad before they can process it. And so, I mean, it's too small, and Sturgis Meats is quite large compared to they process a lot of meat and stuff, and they're very successful, probably a large small business. I don't know what you'd classify that as.
A large small business? That would be called a medium business.
But there's certain limitations, and they have to pay their staff, and processing meat is expensive. Raising meat is expensive.
Did anybody see that thing on, I don't know if you follow us on Facebook, but that the picture that Erin put on Facebook where I'm standing behind all the boxes, there was 20 some boxes of beef jerky that I went and picked up. And I was later in the day, so there wasn't really anybody there, but there was one guy there that was helping me load it out. And he goes, so you're the guy. I was like, I said, do you have to make all this beef jerky? And he said, I'm one of them. And he said, and we got to talk, and it was actually nice, because he was like, thank you for giving me a job, right? Because, I mean, I think he'd be employed either way.
Oh, yeah, because I called in January to get beef and pigs processed, and they can't get us in until the end of March.
Right. So I mean, it's not like it's not like he wouldn't be working if we didn't have all of our stuff being made into beef jerky. But he did thank me, and he said it's really cool that you're able to do this, and be able to spread the whole the whole thing. Damn it, we need to do that, Matt. We need to put a Made in the USA sticker on our stuff. Can we do that?
It says Our Wyoming Life on it. It's made in Wyoming / South Dakota.
Maybe somebody doesn't know where Wyoming is. There's a lot. Actually, I get that quite a bit. Where is Wyoming?
We can't export it outside of the country.
Is that Wyoming or Colorado? Colorado or Wyoming? Nobody knows the difference. But yeah, so yeah, he thanked me for being able to to do that. He was kind of a smart butt about it, but because you could tell he's not a huge fan of making the jerky, but I think that it's
labor intensive, and justifiably so. Like the price that we're charged to make jerky, I understand why we're being charged that price, but it is crazy expensive.
But on the flip side, it is really good beef jerky. I mean,
it is good.
Yeah, I like it. I do. I've always liked Sturgis beef jerky. We kind of tweak the recipes here and there, but Sturgis beef jerky is actually, ever since I was a kid, I remember Sturgis jerky.
Yeah, no, it's really good jerky. They make it's a really quality product that I'm super happy with, and we're going to continue this partnership. So.
Eventually, coming up here too is, at this rate, you'll own Sturgis Meats, man. Oh gosh, I wouldn't want that nightmare.
They do a lot more animals than just ours. Although we are, right now, there's a significant portion of our Wyoming Life beef over there.
We had one of our neighbors said, so you're the reason that I can't get anything in over there. Kinda, yeah. But we're also the reason we can't get our own pigs in. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. I got pigs and steers that were like, oh, wow, slow down.
Yeah, exactly. So we have that situation, obviously, with the beef jerky and that kind of thing happening. What else do we have going on around here that's going to be... Oh, that was what I was going to talk about. Was coming up. We are going to have a video on the history of beef jerky, which I think will be really cool to be able. Yeah, I haven't done a history video in quite a while, so I think that'll be fun to be able to take a look back and see, how jerky originated. Basically as a way to preserve meat, because nobody had a refrigerator, and they had to do something with it. So a lot of a lot of meat was made into beef jerky that couldn't be stored. So I think that'll be an interesting story to go through and take a look at too. So
I don't think we want Jack Links to sponsor us. We're pretty happy just
if
making our own beef jerky.
If we had Jack Links sponsor us, it would almost be like counterproductive, right? Because it'd be like, hey, we're making our own beef jerky, but it'd be like if I was driving all John Deere tractors, but we were sponsored by Case IH. Like, yeah, we sponsored by Case, but I'm going to go get in my John Deere tractor and go feed the cows, right? So that would be a little weird.
Yeah.
That would be. And I'm sure they would look at it exactly the same way. Stetson Auction Service asked how we're entering the question and answer portion of our show here now. So if you'd like to have a question answered, be sure to throw it up. Super chat not required. We definitely try to get in there and read as many of them as we can. Stetson Auction Service, how is number 127 doing? I filmed a video yesterday that's going to come out on Tuesday because I'm actually going to be out of town. I'm going to be in California. But I went out and just walked around the cows, right? I had the camera, I had the GoPro, and I'm out walking around the cows, and I'm like, where's number 127? She avoids me like the plague. Every time I turned around, and I would see her, and she'd go stand over there. Like, she doesn't mind me. She's not cranky or anything, but she definitely moves to the other side. She would actually go around where the pond is. If you watch the webcam, there's a pond out just outside of the yard here.
It's frozen.
Frozen pond. But she would go on the other side, and then she'd stand there and watch me, So she's not exactly my best friend, but we don't hate each other either, so.
Just you wait, you're going to have to pull her calf.
I know, I'm going to have to deal with her, and she's going to hate me even more.
Jay, it's the Towers West Best Western Hotel is where the block of rooms for Ranch Roundup are.
Yeah, you can reserve rooms now. They're actually blocked out. I think they're $95 a night or something like that, which is actually not bad for Gillette. But you can wait until you get your tickets as well. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
But they will know if you guys are calling.
We have no twins that we know of.
Not that I caught. Now, I did all the preg checking this year. So obviously I am not a professional. I was able to see a calf. If I saw two, I probably just thought I had my eyes crossed. EZ asked about Tweels. Tweels are on the way. If you caught the podcast from last week, we were supposed to have a Tweels video, which is these funky, crazy tires that Michelin is sending us to test. They sent us the wrong size of tires, so we started that over again, that process. And then with our storm last week, the tires got stranded somewhere.
Yeah, all of Wyoming was shut down on Monday.
Yep.
Casper was struggling even on Tuesday. Like, the southern part of the state had more snow than we did. Our kids just had a 2-hour delay on Monday, but I know Casper schools were closed Monday, and it kind of, there's that ripple effect when Wyoming is closed. And Wyoming's been closed a lot lately, so there's been a lot of backlog.
Does anybody else live in a state where they close the state? Literally, I'm sorry, Wyoming's closed this week.
I-80 and I-25 have been, in the last couple of weeks, probably have been closed as many days as it's been open.
Right.
It's been pretty bad.
So anyway, I'm supposed to have Tweels maybe on Monday if I have time. I'm leaving on Tuesday, heading out to California for the World Ag Expo. If you live in the area of Tulare, California, you could come and meet me, along with some other YouTubers who are going to be there as well, including Welker Farms, who actually, I learned this week, well, I knew this, but I finally let Nick know, that we were neighbors growing up practically. And him and I have been hitting it off here lately.
There's some age difference.
Yeah, a little bit of an age difference, but we all know kind of the same people. We just know a different generation of that family. He's like, oh, did you know they had a kid? And I'm like, no, I didn't even know they got married, kind of thing.
We haven't been in Montana for
a long time. So anyway, Welkers are going to be there as well. They're going to be at the Case IH booth. Speaking of Case IH, I'm going to be hanging out at the BCS America booth, who, by the way, still loves me, even though I told him that their potato digger sucks.
Somebody said that. Why are you going to be at the BCS booth if you don't like their products? And it's like, well, wait. We didn't like the potato digger. Love the BCS tractor.
Right.
Do not like the potato digger. But also, if we review a product, if we hate it, we're going to tell you that because we have integrity. And I'm not just going to be like, BCS is the best. I like my BCS tractor. did not like the potato digger. They're two separate things.
Right, exactly. M. Weber there asked, what's the first cow's due date? That would be April 2nd. I can't remember which number it was, though. It was, there's 3 of them that are actually due the same day, and now I'd have to think about it and look. Jeff Lake, did you say Tower West? Yep, Towers West. It's the Best Western here in Gillette. There's a video by Nike that has a 10% off. I don't know what the heck that has to do with the price of tea in China.
I think they meant Nick. Are you talking about Nick? 10% off what? We're confused.
Not for the first time today, by the way. So, let's see. Lynx Acres, I want a BCS tractor. And they probably like the review so they can work to improve it. Not a bad point. I mean, I don't know if I should say this. I got a chance to meet or talk to on the phone the owner of BCS through this process. And I'm going to make a video about the World Ag Expo. But spoiler alert, they sent me an email and said, hey, are you going to be at World Ag Expo? And I said, no. Do you want to bring me out? And they said, sure. So I ended up meeting the owner of BCS over the phone. And the funny part was that there was a comment today from a BCS dealer who said he actually doesn't suggest people buy the potato digger because it is ridiculous.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, like, don't buy that. There's some other attachments that we're gonna maybe try out this year for digging root crops.
That work a lot better.
I would not.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never tell you guys to buy that potato digger. Like, it's not what we needed for our operation, and there's too much damage with it, and there's just too much room for error. And so, like, I think in a perfect situation you could, like, make it work, like we talked about, like, if
either way that thing shakes the crap out of you. There's no getting around that. I don't care how much weight you put on it, how if you could float behind it, if you're on one of those bouncy balloons, that thing is going to shake the crap out of you, and that's all there is to it. So at the end, you're still doing this.
And like I can run every attachment for the BCS except for, like, I cannot run that attachment. Like,
for the record, she didn't even try.
No, because I looked at it, I was like, no, that ain't happening, right? So, like, and we have very soft sandy soil. Like, I don't have clay. I have sandy loam with a huge amount of organic matter in it. Like, my soil is perfect for a potato digger. That is not the potato digger that I would ever tell anybody to buy. That's no fault to BCS. That is just something that we don't like, okay? And it would take far too much effort to make it work, in my opinion, than it's worth. Like,
so technically, before you say anything else, the owner of BCS is picking me up at the airport. So maybe we should shush now so that I have a ride.
So there's two. I mean, the great thing about BCS is the implements, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you buy a BCS, is because the versatility with the implements, that there's an implement to do almost every single thing that you want to do. There's nothing wrong with the BCS tractor. I would recommend everybody buy a BCS tractor, and then you're going to have to figure out which implements are right for your operation.
Exactly. Yeah, I love
the tractor.
The BCS thing, the thing that I love about BCS, and this is not a commercial for BCS, but the thing that I love about BCS is that it's one engine.
Yeah.
And I can slap other crap on it, and basically, at some point, there's an upfront cost, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, you're gonna go over that cost once you talk about. You have a tiller, you have a snowblower, you have a mow. They make a lawnmower for the thing.
We use the flail mower.
They have a flail mower. Yeah. So eventually you cross over that point where it's like, okay, now it's cost effective.
Yeah.
If you're just buying it for a rototiller, probably not. But I don't think it takes much, and this would be an interesting thing to look at. It doesn't take much. Once you buy that second implement for it, you're getting pretty close to that break-even point. Yeah. So, anyway, number 27 and number 127. I did see that Easy's paying attention. Number 27 is due on April 2nd. She's one of our 3 that should be calving first, and she was the one that I confused with 127 and ended up chasing around for a lot of days. So
we have a super chat from JB.
JB Weld has a super chat. Potato diggers are preferable to cold diggers. I'm imagining that you're speaking from experience, but I would not know. Yeah. All right. So let's take a few more questions here as we wrap up the hour. Are you okay?
I'm excited that you're going to World Ag Expo. I wish I was going.
I kind of wish you were going too, because I am going to be. I know that Jeff Lake He was planning on coming down from San Francisco. I know that a few other people that are planning to come and see me. I really hope that I'm not going to be standing in the booth by myself and make them regret flying me out, because flying out of Gillette is never cheap. But I think that it should be a lot of fun, and I get a chance to hang out with Nick from Welker Farms.
Yeah.
And I know that Bob, the giant hunter, is coming down from Sacramento to hang out. So it should be a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And I think that, if I remember right, it's like the biggest
It's huge.
ag expo. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's done. It's actually it's outdoors, because there's not a building big enough to fit the whole
It's
damn
like
thing in.
1,600 booths or something
Yeah,
crazy.
1,400 vendors
That's a
are going to be
lot.
there. 1,400 different
Please
booths.
wash your hands so you don't get the coronavirus.
Oh my gosh, you had to go there. Easy. I'm gonna. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do.
mail call?
I didn't have any mail call plan, but I know this has been driving my friend from Las Vegas crazy. So I'm gonna hold on a second.
Our mail call situation it's a disaster.
It is a disaster. So
We've been slacking on the organizing the mail call, so we're gonna shoot for next week to get through the mail call.
our friend from Las Vegas, who has been helping us out with a project that we've been working on, and this looks like a mess. Is what it looks like. But what we are working on with Easy, and that he really wants you to know about, is that we have been making a harness for Bambi, or Blonde Cow, or whoever can wear it, to
Bambi will be the
actually
easiest.
have a GoPro mounted to a cow.
I mean, this is being held on with Velcro, so I don't doubt the work that Easy has done.
I
But
have not tried it on a cow yet.
I mean, it's a GoPro, so if it falls off, it'll be fine. The big problem will be trying to find it.
So I don't think Bambi, first of all, has ever wore
Yeah.
a harness. In fact, I've never even worn one like this. And Erin harnesses me up quite often. Okay, so
So you're gonna have to figure out how to put it on.
I think we're this way. Okay, so anyway, we're going to try it. Actually, I think the red strap goes across the top. There we go. There we go. Okay, so this is more confusing than hay. Okay, so cow
Yeah, what if she
face
steps on it?
goes in here.
No one gets it.
Maybe this is upside down. I don't know. We'll try it. Yeah, and then this part,
What's the purple for?
I think it's different sizes.
Oh, she needs the extra large. Have you seen her?
She's pregnant. Don't fat shame her.
She's so big.
But yeah, thank you very much. We will. This is our mail call for today. This will be used eventually.
She's so
I can't
round. She's like a barrel. She swallowed a propane tank.
Did you see number 2? She's getting pretty big too. So, but yeah, if we can get a camera strapped onto her. The other issue is that we have to figure out how to put a battery on the camera, because those GoPros only last for like 45 minutes.
Well, how much footage do you need?
I want like an entire day of. I want like a day in the life of Bambi. Just doing whatever
Well,
she
you're just gonna have
does.
to put it on time lapse instead of video.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But what if something really interesting happens, or she has something to say?
I don't know.
How is she going to narrate the whole thing? I got to figure out how to mic her too. Anybody imagine
They're
what?
the same size.
Oh, there you go.
I think it'll fit her. It's going around her face. She's
I think
never
it'll fit
worn
her.
a halter though.
But now Cracker Jack has worn a halter.
But it's been a long
It's been a
time.
long time since he wore a halter. But he wore one for quite a while.
Yeah,
And,
put a GPS on the GoPro for when she loses it. That's not a bad idea.
It's a really good idea. You know, I've been looking at. So they make GPS trackers for dogs that like clip onto their collar type of thing. It costs like $100 a pop. So I was looking at doing something like that because I wanted to be able to track where she went too. They also make a little one that, like if you lose your keys all the time, you know, you can put it on your keys. I didn't realize those are Bluetooth though. So you have to be close to them with your phone. So I would have to follow her around or something. I don't know how that would work. But Michael Outdoors asked about the automatic chicken door. I didn't see that earlier too. That chicken door is still working great for us. The only bad part about it, and that I can tell you, is that it's got the nylon string stretches. So you have to tighten it every once in a while. because after a while that door going up and down so much, and I think it's changing temperatures and it gets wet and stretches out, you do have to shorten it because it won't open the door all the way. That's the only issue that I've had with it.
Can they still get out?
Yeah, they just have to duck down a little bit farther.
No, they don't like that.
Yeah, the I know
now,
that
like it's getting light out later. Are you adjusting?
I have not adjusted the time on
probably
it.
should
I probably
adjust
should
the
do
time.
that. It's got a sensor on it, and I know I complained during the video that the sensor didn't work because it was like blocked out, and the company did get a hold of me and they said we forgot to clear that or whatever.
Yeah,
so
so
there's
now
some
does
sort
it
of
work?
No, I didn't set it up. I should, but yeah, it does have a light sensor on it, so it'll go up and down like a half an hour after sunrise, and then a half an
I
hour
wonder though,
after
like how
sunset.
that works. Like some days it's pretty cloudy here right now.
That's true. And where it's sitting, like it could be a shadowy area.
Yeah, like I mean, there's definitely times when like we have some lights that are on like sensors or whatever, and they'll be on in the middle of the day
Yep.
if it's really cloudy.
When is the next podcast coming out? Mark wants to know.
Well, it depends if we record one before you leave.
That's a good point. I have a lot to do before I leave, so who knows?
So this week or next, one of the two.
JB Weld, another super chat there from JB. I think JB's bought a bale of hay already. I've been meaning to ask this for a year. Holy smokes, man. And I just remembered it.
You could have sent an email or something.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you put magnets in your cow's stomachs? I've heard that's a thing. That is actually a thing. It's called hardware poisoning. Oddly, that's like hitting a nail right on the head. That cows will go out and eat shiny things, just like crows. So if you have a ranch that has a lot of nails are kind of the big one, nuts, bolts, pieces of hardware that are floating around, cows will eat those. And as it moves through their system, that obviously can do some damage. So you feed them a little magnet. It's about the size, maybe like half this pen, and it sits. I think it sits in their first stomach.
How do you get it in there?
You can feed it to them,
Well, how?
just like a pill gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like
Shove it
a
in
scourge thing.
Yeah.
Shove it back.
Wire, anything like that.
Yeah.
Then I think it sits in their first stomach. I don't think it moves past that. And then it's catching everything as it comes in. So, and letting it sit there. Now, I've seen autopsies of cows that have had these things, and they look like a junk pile.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing what they can find and what they can eat. I've never done it. We've never had an issue with a cow dying of hardware poisoning, which is funny. They call it hardware poisoning. It's eating metal. I mean, really. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. We've never actually done it, but beer cans. I guess they can eat beer cans. We really try to keep everything as clean as we can. We do have some junk laying around here and there, but
Yeah, I mean we've never had like a cow eat a bunch of barbed wire or like tear a fence apart or anything like that. So I don't know. Like we just have never had that issue. I'm sure that there's some of those cows out there have some weird stuff in their stomachs.
Probably.
Twine. I've seen some autopsies of like twine.
oh yeah, the
my
twine,
God.
the net wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
One stomach, 4 compartments. Sits in the first compartment of their stomach. Thanks, Jay. Yeah.
It is interesting the things that and I've seen cows chew on plastic bags or oh my gosh, they can get a cake sack. And those are paper,
Those
but they
are paper,
are like
but they do
kinda
have
like
fun with them.
They do have like it's almost like a wax lining. It won't hurt them, even I've seen calves with like
I've
you've had to
chased calves down.
with like a plastic grocery sack that we're like, where did this come from?
The highway, because people throw crap out.
And don't litter.
Yeah. All right, Matt Fensel has a quick request. Can you explain how much hay you need again? Well, let me see. We're going to start out with... Do you want to start all over? No. Fine. Jeez, you don't even want to play along? Be a great way to end the whole thing. Just fade into black? No. Jeez.
We're buying like 40 tons.
40 tons?
That's what it is.
Is that what it is?
Let me do the math for you.
Do the math. How much hay are we buying? AJ, we were just talking about the Tweels not long ago. They are stuck in Rapid City right now, so we're hoping that they get here pretty quick. 170,000.
85 tons.
85 tons of hay is what we need.
That's what we're buying.
So if anybody happens to want to throw some in the trunk of their Honda Civic and drive on up here, we'll need you to make a lot of trips. So anyway, we're over budget on time. We're going to wrap things up. We want to really thank everybody for coming and hanging out with us again. It's okay. Relax. We're not going to talk about hay anymore. Everybody starts to twitch a little bit. See, this is why, you know, if I made a video about it, I guarantee you it would be a lot clearer. Mostly because I wouldn't have you confusing me.
You confused yourself. Like, let's just be honest about that. You confused yourself.
If you can't confuse yourself,
We're buying 85 tons.
who can you confuse? That's it? 85 tons?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, 85 tons of hay, which is the equivalent. There's a really cool website I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you guys about really quick before I hang things up. And I use this all the time when I'm making videos because, like, a lot of times I'll talk about 85 tons, right? And you're like, well, 85. I don't know how much that is. Is that like, you know,
Can they see
20,
your
30 pounds?
website?
No, they can't. But I'm going to type it in.
Oh, it's windy. I can hear it.
So I think this is how I find it. I know this is really exciting for you
Yeah,
guys.
because you can't see any of this. You see us like, what?
Okay, I gotta remember the name of the website. I'm trying to think. I know, it's exciting. Stick with me. Okay, it's called The Measure of Things, right? Okay, The Measure of Things, but it's, if you search for that, the website's weird. It's Blue Bulb Projects, but okay, so I put in 85 tons of something, right? Measure of weight. 85 tons. Now this is cool. I know you guys can't see it, so I'm just going to read it to you. 85 tons, 1 1/10 times as heavy as a space shuttle.
Well, that doesn't. What is 1 1/10?
Okay, let's break it. 3/4 as heavy as a blue whale.
I've never seen a blue whale.
How can you shoot? Okay, half as heavy as a house.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it weighs half of what your house does.
Who's seen a blue whale in real life?
Who weighs their house?
I don't know.
All right. 7 times as heavy as the anchor of a cruise ship.
Never seen one of those in
85
real life.
tons.
Seen pictures.
1/10 as heavy as Christ the Redeemer, the statue in Brazil.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that big one.
Never seen that in real life either.
12 times as heavy as a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Haven't seen one. Haven't seen it.
13 elephants. 13 elephants worth of hay. There we go. We hit a winner right there at the end. 13 elephants worth of hay. That's how much hay we're buying. 13 elephants. I'm going to call my hay guy and be like, I need 13 elephants. He's going to go, dude, I ain't selling you anything, and lay off the whatever you're on. 13 elephants worth of hay. Let's just use that for measurements from now on. You go buy bananas. Can I get a toenail worth of bananas?
3/4 of a blue whale.
That would be fun. I could handle that. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. I know it was a tough one to get through, but we do appreciate it. Thank you very much to Dr. Jeffrey Dixon. That's a $500 super chat that he threw out 45 minutes before the live stream started. Also, thank you to JB Weld, along with Ivan and Daniel and Steve, everybody who threw us a super chat tonight. We really do appreciate it. All that today is actually going directly into the calves' mouths. Maybe not as super chats, but we'll convert it into hay. We'll convert it into elephants, and we'll feed it to the cows. Thank you to our moderators tonight, Bill the Tractor Man, Matt Fensel, William Dunn, Lori Habel, and Zach Hewitt, all here hanging out with us, keeping us on the straight and narrow somewhat. We need to give them like a cattle prod or like a dog shocker. Like they could just be like, get back on point. You don't like that idea either?
No.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time right here on Beyond the Ranch. Have a great night.